Hello Stampin' friends, this is Trina Brower here with a quick video. We're going to be making this card today. Just having a little bit of fun with some more of my hand-penned petals and the hand-penned designer series paper. Okay, we're going to do this real quick. Our card base, of course, is Highland Heather cardstock, and that is cut at your normal 8.5 by 5.5, but I've done one thing different here. As you can see, I've cut the front of the card. So I've cut off 2 1/4 inches from the front of that card. And let me see if I can find a bone folder here. Here we go. So I went ahead and scored it at where I normally do, and then I cut off 2 1/4 inches from the front of the card. So let's go ahead and get this going. All right, the next thing I did was I took some of my designer series paper and I cut it at, I believe this is like 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then this would be 1 by 5 1/4. So I've already got those two pieces cut. Let's go ahead and adhere them real quick. Just centering them on the thing. And then of course my inside is a piece of basic white, and that is cut once again at 4 by 5 1/4. Now the other thing I did on this strip of designer series paper is I did the scallop. And what I did with the scallop was I took the scallop from the hand-penned stamp set, and there's a little scallop thing right in there. I think you can see it. And this is interesting because it only cuts on the scalloped edge. It does not cut on this over here. This is just a nice little stitching that gives up on it. So when you go to put it on your designer series paper, it's put on just like this, so that you have the paper and you'll know that you'll be cutting at this edge, and then this other edge won't cut. It just leaves a nice little, I don't know if you can see it very well on my thing, a nice little stitch design. So let me put this out of the way. And we're going to put that on my Whisper White cardstock here. And sometimes I leave a little bit of white like I did on this one. Sometimes I don't. I think this time I'm going to try and put it on as close as possible. I'm not going to leave that little strip of white. Okay, there we go. And that, of course, will go right inside my card. We're going to go ahead and stick it in there right now, because if I don't do it now, I will lose this. You know how it goes. You never move from your spot, but for some reason you can't find half the stuff you've already done. Okay, the next thing that I did was I took my 2 punches, my 2 1/2 and my 2-inch punch, to make this little circle design right here. Well, actually, that's what I normally would have done, but I wanted to play with my framelits. But remember, whenever you're punching and doing something like this, where you want that outer ring, is you punch the smaller one first, then you punch the larger one. But instead, what I did was I took my layering circles. This is the layering circles framelit set. And then I took the 2 that I was going to use, and I just took some washi tape and I taped the 2 together so I wasn't always having to line it up every time, and then ran it through like that, so I ended up with my little ring. Well, worked out good. Okay, and of course then the for this part of the card, you could have either just run one single ring through there, or I actually did use the 2-inch, no, I used the 2 1/2 inch punch to be able to put this on here. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Found out the easiest way for me was just a little bit of glue. And I just put it right around this edge right here. Just enough to hold it, and if we, oops. And that way, if we need it to move it a little bit, I can move it some. Okay, I don't want to get that little spot of glue on there. Alrighty, and it's just going to go right like that. Okay, give it a good push. And I got my ring. Okay, now normally I would go ahead and stamp the word thanks in the Highland Heather. I've already done that on one of my other things here. So this is ready to go. And then the other thing that I did, I've used several stamp sets here today. Let me go ahead and show them to you real quick. I've used, of course, the Hand-Penned Petals with the designer series paper that matches it. I also used this Grateful Bunch because I wanted the "You Are Totally Awesome" for the inside of my card. Thought that fit perfectly. And then I love these flowers. So this is an older set, Happy Birthday to You, and it has a coordinating die set with it. So this coordinating die set comes with the full cake right here, but it also then comes with just the flowers, where you can cut out just simply the flowers. And that's this one right here. So that's what I did. I stamped the flowers, of course, in my Memento Black, and then I took my die and it lines up perfectly with just the flowers, right like that. So that's how I got my flowers. Okay. And then you can see the other couple of pieces that come with this, that came with this die. Of course, it's another retired set of mine. And then what I did was, I have my little die cut here, and actually I just snipped off this one area because I thought it looked nice, and then I could do a little bit more of popping up with my dimensionals. So this was a perfect place to go ahead and snip this right off. And so that's what I did. So now I have the two pieces right here. Okay, I started coloring, and these are all the different colors that I used: Highland Heather, Pale Papaya, and Old Olive, just using the light and dark blends of those. And I have my two little things right here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these to my circle. Let's see, I think I'm going to just put this right up here like this. And kind of figure out how I want to lay this. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, this one gets a good press. I am going to actually use some dimensionals on this little guy. And thinking, maybe about, that looks pretty good. Okay, then I am going to still use dimensionals to place this whole thing on here, just being careful when I do it not to get dimensionals on the flap here. Oh, we're gonna just add a few more. I think this will be good. That should keep me out of trouble. Yep. Okay. Let's make sure that I'm getting it on there so it looks nice, but also not gonna have my dimensionals show on the back. Managed it. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, you got to have a little bit of bling. So I brought out the Genial Gems, cute little things, and just put two in the center of each of these flowers here. Of course, you can always add more if you'd like. Get in there. Okay. And then I stamped my "You Are Totally Awesome" on the inside, which you don't need to see me do right now. But this happens to be then the two really simple cards that I use, just using my designer series paper and some Highland Heather cardstock. Let me show another one that I did. This one I used a different flower arrangement. I actually used the flower from the Hand-Penned Petals stamp set. I actually used this one down here and cut it out. That also gave a pretty nice addition to the card. And then I stamped my thanks down below, kind of turned it on its side, and added some more of these pastel pearls with it. So those are my cards for today. Hope you enjoyed seeing a very quick and simple little card and having fun with doing a little bit of a different type of a fun fold. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, TrenaBrower@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.